very important for us moving forward. And again, for being able to be at 3 levels, so for getting to the end,
what's your relationship like with? Spent so much time in college hoops. He's an institution there as well. And obviously his relationship with Paige dates back, for many good years at Connecticut. Have you had any conversations with Gino, or has there been any sort of intel or advice given to you about maybe this is how you should approach Paige?
There's no secret that him and I are very close. Right? And we've known each other for a long time. He helped me do a lot of things when I was getting the program at South Florida getting started. With the home and home right away, and then developed a really, really great friendship through the years. And one of the first things that I did as soon as I got the job, I went to go visit him, and we talked basketball for 4 days. We'd go watch him practice.
I'm so connected.
Played a game in Hartford as well. So we talk a lot. And I won't share all the advice that he gave, but there was a good understanding on how she responds to coaching, how she wants to be coached, and certain things with the basketball, what she really, really likes. But again, it's that conversation that her and I are going to have as we get closer to training camp.
A little bit of insider info certainly helps, though, at least as you kind of enter that relationship with her. Can you give us even like a smidge of maybe that insight, and in terms of maybe how you approach her as a coach?
No.
Can't give us anything?
No, it's a secret.
Why? Why is it a secret? We're gonna find out eventually, right?
You will. You'll find out when the training camp starts, April 19th. So you got what, 14 days to talk to me about it then. Okay.
Well, your style of coaching is what? How would you kind of describe? Are you a rah-rah guy? Are you an up-tempo guy? What's from whether
there's got to be a huge balance, right? I think it changes, and you got to adjust to the dynamic of your team and the personality of your team. That's very, very important. But I think just with anything, with successful organizations, it starts with communication, right? And making sure you have great communication and trust and relationship building with not only your staff, but the players that you're coaching.
When you look at this roster, what are you most excited about?
I'm excited about the versatility and the use of, but again, as we know, not only our roster, but the roster of many teams in this league are going to change through the expansion draft and free agency.
Speaking of the draft, we're in the war room right now.
We are.
Less than 2 months until the WNBA draft. What type of player are you hoping the Wings can add to this roster with the #1 overall pick?
The great thing about having the #1 pick, you have control of who you're going to draft. If you're sitting at 2, 3, 4, 5, you got to wait on who somebody's going to take, and at that point, it might not be somebody you truly are in love with and you want to have in your organization, right? I think whoever we take #1 is going to be a great fit in the locker room. Is going to be a great fit in our culture, in our standards, and in the way that we want to play. Who we're going to take, well, we have control of it, but it's going to also depend on who we get in free agency and our needs are going to be at that time.
So have you all decided who the pick is going to be, and you just don't want to even go down that road yet? I'm just curious. No, I'm serious. Like, have there been inner discussions like this is the pick?
There's been a lot of discussions.
And you're just not going to say who the pick is?
Correct.
So you guys probably already know who the pick's going to be. Maybe. But we still got, what, 3 months left of college hoops? 2 more months?
No. Well, you got conference tournaments starting March 1st.
Nothing.
So the draft, you're looking at the draft is right after that Monday, right after the Final Four. The championship gets played on that Sunday, so you're going to wait probably 7, 8 days later. April what? 13th, right?
But I guess my
training camp starts on the 19th.
Are you going to see something in college hoops in the last
probably not
2 months that could change your mind on it?
No, I think there's been some separation by some folks.
Okay.
So it's going to be based on me.
What do you tell people when they ask you who the number one pick's going to be?
They're going to find out in a couple months.
You like delayed gratification, huh? You were named to the Team USA coaching staff at FIBA's qualifying tournament. Paige, obviously part of that roster. Some bonus time with your star player here with the Wings. What does that kind of honor, being named to that staff, mean to you? Just being able to represent on the international stage, and also the chance to have some of, extra time around Paige in that environment.
Well, we'll start with the experience with USA basketball. I think it's anytime you get an opportunity to coach, not only coach the best players in the world, but also represent your country is something that is amazing, and I don't take it lightly. This is my fourth assignment with USA basketball. I was fortunate to be a court coach. One other time, Joni Taylor and I were two court coaches for Jeff Walsh's staff when he was the coach of the team that he took to Thailand and won a gold medal. Then Neil Ivey and I were assistant coaches for Terry Warren. We won a gold medal at the FIBA Americas and FIBA World Cup in the Czech Republic. But this was at the coach of the best 18 and best 19. The future players that we're going to see down the road in the WNBA. And now coaching, per se, the best of the best. Again, but now getting an opportunity to spend time with Paige in Miami and Puerto Rico will be invaluable as well. The more time that you can spend time with one of your players in a face-to-face in basketball situation outside, and getting to know her and her getting to know me will be really cool.
What is the relationship like now? I mean, I assume you all have called or texted, and before the hire, did y'all? I'm sure you obviously knew of her, and there's some familiarity. But can you just kind of give us a glimpse on like how the relationship was previous to the hire, and maybe in the last couple months?
Yeah. I talked to her before I got hired. I also talked to a couple other players before I got hired. And then after I got hired, we tried to develop this through phone conversations, text message, and keeping up to date with them because we got players all over the place down at Unrivaled, at Athletes Unlimited, overseas. But Paige is really busy, so I've been down at Unrivaled and I see her. We text, but we haven't had an opportunity, but we were able to see each other during USA camp in North Carolina and talk there a bit. But we haven't had a lot of time to spend together because I'm still in Tampa, going back and forth Dallas, and she's been Unrivaled and all the other responsibilities that she has.
Coming to the WNBA now, obviously there's a bit of a dispute going on about pay and all that. Just sort of your thoughts on kind of where you think players should be compensated, and also the WNBA as a whole seems to be continue to grow and grow from a revenue perspective. So, what kind of excites you to be part of this, quote unquote rocket ship?
I think the WNBA right now is in a meteoric rise. It's the best that the league's ever been in, and it's continuing to grow. I know you had to ask that question, but I can't answer. That's something that the presidents and owners and the players' union and their attorneys they're gonna figure out. And
Does it make it nerve-wracking as a coach?
It does, because there is an unknown.
Right.
Of what's going on, what's being said behind closed doors. But respectfully, as a coach, you have to let everything play out and see how everything's going to turn out.
Are you fearful of lockout or anything along those lines?
I think every organization is fearful of the unknown, right? And I'm sure the fan bases of every professional organization in the W want to see basketball.
What are your expectations for year one?
My expectations? Well, I wouldn't have taken this job if I didn't think that I could be a great change to the organization, right? I think it's got its expectations of constructing a great roster, putting an unbelievable staff together. And my expectations is taking this job is to win a championship. Realistically, can we do it in year one? You got to get to the playoffs before you can win a championship. So I think if we can put a really good roster together around the current players that we have, there should be no reason why we're not a playoff contender. So that for me as a coach,
See if he changes anything.
I was able to build a college program from the bottom all the way to perennial top 25 team every year, and the standard was winning a conference championship, going to the NCAA tournament every year. So I look
literally
forward to
don't
building
change
a great
anything,
roster with our front office
I have to.
and being a playoff team.
I wanted to ask you that, like, what level of, what sort of voice do you have in the room? You know, the war room come draft night, free agency. Obviously, Kurt Miller's the GM
Right.
and kind of leads that up, but I would imagine you have some sort of voice or say in these processes. How is that going to be?
I wouldn't have taken this job if I didn't have a say or if I wasn't going to be listened to.
Okay.
I think we've had very, very good conversations. Kurt Miller's an incredible general manager. We have two very talented assistant general managers in Travis Charles that has been with the Wings organization for a very long time, and Jasmine, who played for Kurt at Connecticut, and she sees the game from a different angle as well, being a former player and playing at the highest level. So I think our front office is very, very well aligned.
I mean, is it free flowing, or
Yeah,
who has final say? I guess on roster. Is that still a Kurt thing, or is it mutual?
Well, I think when you put a roster together and you look at the fringe list of the international players or people that weren't in the WNBA last year, we have conversations who we like and we like to draft. And then we have a huge draft board because who are you going to take at number one? And then we got 31. Those are two different ends of the spectrum, right? In the type of player you're going to get at one and you're going to get at 31. So those are the then you're having other conversations with free agents.
I would imagine for the Wings this season, free agency is more of a discussion than perhaps the draft.
It's big. It's a big discussion. And what your needs are and what you want to bolster or what you want to get better at.
Do you tell Kurt, like, I'm looking for this kind of player?
Well, I think Kurt, before he hired me, we had really good conversations on how I wanted to play and how I envisioned how to play. But as a coach, you have to adjust to the roster that you're going to have.
Mm-hmm.
Because just because I want to play a certain way and I don't have the players to play that way, we're going to fail.
So you'll adapt your scheme based on the personnel?
Right.
Okay. As you make this transition from college to the pros, what do you feel is going to be maybe the toughest part of the transition for you?
Well, you got a short amount of time to get a team ready, right? And that's 14 days, 2 exhibition games. So it'll start there. The adjustment where preparing for an opponent, right, with only 1 day prep or maybe only a shoot around, that's going to be different. So training camp, staff, getting a lot of the great pieces in place, and then you're fine-tuning and preparing for that next opponent. So I would say those first 20 days are going to be crucial in what we do in the film room, in player development, and how we utilize practice.
Well, I kind of transition a little bit, from the personal side of things. Obviously, being a coach at your level requires a lot of sacrifice and commitment from your family and those around you. If you kind of just speak on, what they've meant to you along your journey, and you've been coaching for, three decades, something like that. So
it's been a long time.
Yeah. How would they help you kind of accomplish some of these goals?
Well, I think you have to have incredible balance, right? The other adjustment when you're coaching in college, right now, the WNBA season is totally different. So, for example, you start coaching your players in college in the summer. You only got 8 weeks to work out with them. A lot of the work, as a head coach, you're in and out because you're doing public appearances, you're fundraising, you're doing a lot of different things outside of those 8. Then lifting 4 days a week, 1 hour workouts to get to your 8. Now they arrived on campus last week of August. You got individual workouts. They usually have 30 practices in 40 days. So your schedule's a lot different because you start in August, you're going to finish in April, then your time to relax is maybe May and half of June. Well, now you're starting at April 19th, you're going to finish in November. Now our time to decompress is totally different. It's going to be December, January, February, where our time to decompress is May, June, maybe the first week of July. So our schedule's going to be a little different.
Schedule will be different.
Yeah, we'll adjust to that.
But in terms of just, as your wife in the Rock at home, how has she kind of, played momager, I guess? You don't have 5 kids and, raise a family with 8 dogs, by accident.
Yeah,
So
again, it's understanding, it's balance, it's making sure that when I got home, spending time with family, with the girls, with my wife, because that was a tough part in college. The amount of time, that Tanya and I had to spend with recruit dinners, with fundraising dinners, with appearances in Tampa, a lot different. Right? I was constantly on the phone. So we had a big bulk of international recruiting. So think about the month of September. I would leave on a Wednesday, come back on a Sunday to Europe, be with my team at South Florida Monday, Tuesday, leave again. That was 4 straight weeks. I'd have to, at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, stay up to call an international recruit because the only time you could catch them is right before they left to school.
Because of the time
6, 7
difference.
hour time difference.
Yeah.
So
those things add up. Yeah.
Those things add up.
Yeah.
But Tanya didn't miss many games. She was always on the team charter. And then Taylor came with us as well. So it was really, really neat. Now we have Brianna and Brooke are in Miami. Sydney still lives in Tampa. And Alex is out in Arizona.
And so it's going to be your wife and your youngest is...
Well, Taylor is one of our daughters. She's special needs. So she will come to Dallas with us. She will be throughout the entire season.
So, we often hear of parents who have children with special needs, and it kind of, maybe opens their eyes to certain things.
Huge awareness, and we're very thankful for a lot of organizations in the Tampa Bay area that have been very supportive of Taylor. Public supermarkets has been an unbelievable experience for her, and they're very, very supportive of children and adults with special needs. And the Vintage Sports Group and the entire USF community has been great with Taylor.
She Paige Pickers fan?
Oh, huge. Well, I'll tell you a quick story. So, her favorite coach is Gino Ariel. Outside of, when she's around me, I'm a favorite coach. So, one year, I don't know, I got home and Tanya tells Taylor, hey, guess who won Coach of the Year this year? Just got announced. Taylor goes, oh, Gino? Tanya goes, no, Gino didn't win. Jose won it. She looked at me and she goes, you won co-coach then? True story.
So she's got a lot of respect for Gino Ariano as well.
Yeah, they're best friends.
The last question for you is, what would be your message to, Wings fans who are, kind of eager to see a winner, to see a playoff team?
I think our players are going to play with great joy, great enthusiasm. They're going to be great representatives of the organization, be involved in the community. They're going to play with great passion. There's not going to ever be a reason for anyone to think that, hey, they just didn't play hard, they didn't compete tonight.
Jose Fernandez, first year WNBA coach.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll see you out there on the court. I'll see you at training camp.
All right.
So I can finally see what the secrets are here.
Sounds good.
The secret sauce to coaching page.
We'll find out.
Ooh, mock draft for them. Dude, I'm so ready for this WNBA season, bro. This shit's gonna be so fire.
So the stud buds have been like big. They've been huge. I think were they on the cover of Slam magazine or something? Like it was Portnoy wanted to go on their show. Like they were big, especially around All-Star break with that stream. Some of their streams obviously did really well, others kind of didn't at the start. And by All-Star break,
You a glitch,
out
bro.
of nowhere we were seeing like the sub boards getting 10,000 concurrent viewers on stream, which is crazy. I think they had like 2,000 when they were in the room asleep. They were just asleep and they kept the stream running, which was impressive. But so they have been saying here, this is what it's all about. They were talking about reacting to CBA, and let's take a listen to what they have said. Officially, anyway.
Do y'all understand the history that just happened today, bro?
Facts.
We finna be millionaires, bro.
Facts.
The first millionaires in our families, the biggest jump in all of professional sports, all of professional hurlers.
I do want to say this, that they already were going to be making basically the same amount, and they were already having the biggest jump in the history of professional sports, and they called it a slap in the face 3 weeks ago. They called it a slap in the face. They said the proposals weren't good. They were going to be the exact same positions they were in, but I'm happy when all said and done that they're celebrating the wins, but like people are like, oh, the WNBA players stood on business. So the WNBA players started, like the league started off by wanting to give the players a 5 million salary cap, and the players wanted a 13 million salary cap and 40% of gross revenue. The league wanted a net revenue model equivalent to 15% gross revenue. The league went up 2 million in salary cap and 5% or 4% in gross revenue. 3% in gross revenue, but they did bring in gross revenue business, which is in and around what was expected, what I expected to accept. And the players went down 20%, or sorry, went 22% down in gross revenue from their initial goal, and nearly half their salary cap. So I'm like, they won. Everything was a win. But it's like I'm glad they're celebrating it now. But it's funny because basically the same numbers were there 2 weeks ago, and people were calling it a slap in the face. It's very clear with Courtney Williams and Tisha Heidemann were one people that were on the side of we need to fucking play.
Men, boys, women, whatever. Like, this is historical, bro. This is a historical day, bro.
But yeah, one of the other things that I find hilarious is people are like, oh, they're
But she is not a minimum player. I
why are
always
they
say that.
saying is like they're going to get a max contract. They're going to be millionaires. I saw a bunch of people being like, oh, they're going to be. I saw someone actually say that Courtney Williams and Tisha Heidemann, what are they talking? They're going to be out of the league. And I'm
Are you crazy?
Courtney Williams.
Do you know who Courtney Williams is?
Was an all-star last year. She was an all-star. Courtney Williams is making $750K minimum next year.
Minimum.
Tisha Heidemann, she was definitely on the higher end. I think she made like 2/3 of the max last year. She's not making $750K, where she might make $500K. She was seen as one of the best bench players in the entire league. She was seen as one of the best bench players in the entire WNBA. So Heidemann,
She's gonna be around 400K.
Gonna be making money. He was gonna be making she was going to be making money. And people saying, oh, they're going to be millionaires. Yeah, no shit, they're going to be millionaires. They lost 4 more years, which they should, in the league. They're already doing okay. But, like, if they lost 4 more years in the league, if Courtney Williams lost 2 more years in the league, after tax, she'll have $1 million. Especially when the rev split comes in. When the 20% rev split comes in, she's not making $500,000 on the rev, 20% rev split. She's only making $100,000 on the 20% rev split. So, you're looking now at a situation where it's like, okay, shit, we might be making $800,000 a year. And if you're making $800,000 a year in your last 4 years, you're what? You're making $3.2 million? You got 4 years at $800,000, $3.2 million. Let's just say, for argument's sake, Courtney Williams averages $600,000 for 4 years, which is about league average, even though she's an all-star, she'll make more than that. $600,000 for 4 years is $2.4 million. Plus whatever the rev split is, and let's just say $2.4 million is you have that. And by the way, the unrivaled numbers were absolutely fake. They have to be. The way these players are celebrating, 2 players that were in unrivaled, when Alex Basel basically came out and said the players are getting paid an average of about $500,000 each to play in unrivaled, they wouldn't be celebrating like this when Natisha Heidemann is about $500,000 each, about a $500,000 player. Courtney Williams is about a 700,000 player-ish. They wouldn't, like, the reaction wouldn't be like this, we're about to be millionaires. Like, because apparently, according to Alex Basel, players in Rival get paid $500,000. And that this current WNBA CBA is actually not more money than Rival. They're talking about how historic it is. And the CEO of Unrivaled put out numbers to say, actually, this isn't as much as us. 2 Unrivaled players are calling this historic. Let's be real. Let's be completely real. But, like, the players in Unrivaled are estimating 6 figures. But, maybe the average is that, but maybe fucking Stewie and Fee get $5 million each or something. But yeah, they are going to be millionaires. I'm shocked Courtney Williams is not already a millionaire. Again, if you take into account the fact that the rumoured unrivaled payment was $500,000. If she made $500,000 one year and $250,000 the next year in unrivaled, based on their numbers with the averages, makes $750,000. Plus the last 2 years of a WNBA contract, she'll have made $1 million in just the last 2 years. She's made $1 million in just the last 2 years. Obviously, even though you section off 50% tax, it goes with $500,000. Then you take all the other years in her career, like, she made, it goes to $2 million in her career. So, like, people are like, Courtney Williams going to be a millionaire. Yeah, she's already probably this close to being a millionaire. Let's be completely real. Like, they're celebrating that they're going to be millionaires. Every player in this league every vet in this league is going to be a millionaire. If you last 10 years in this league, especially with the way things are going, if you last play this entire CBA, by the way, if you play 7 years of this CBA, and you're not a dumbass with your money, you're going to be a millionaire. Like, it is what it is. So anyway, yeah, that is the video. Obviously, shout out to the Spell Buds, and shout out to the WNBA players making their money. Shout out to them. At the end of the day, I always said that whatever you believe they deserve, you don't get what you deserve, you get what you're able to bargain for. And I feel like the money and the rev split that they got was probably, looking at the time, was definitely on the far end of what they were able to bargain for. And I think what my prediction was is that what I think players could get, they pretty much got to what they could get. And I thought they'd gone any lower if the owners were screwing them. And I thought they went $6 million salary cap, or I don't think the owners necessarily screwing them with net rev split, it's just added risks. Added extra risks, but I do think anything under $7 million they were getting screwed, and they got it to a $7 million salary cap. So I think they got a good deal. I think anything was a good deal, but like, I think this is going to be one of those negotiations where both sides feel like they got screwed a little bit, which is honestly a perfect negotiation, to be honest.
What the fuck is the fucking...
So, today we're going to be talking about the ESPN mock draft, and it is one of the most hilarious mock drafts I have ever seen. Genuinely, this is like, if you guys don't remember, last year, I need to see if I can find the video, where they, ESPN, I can guarantee, whoever wrote this isn't AI. I'm convinced this is, as you can see here, Ken Munster reacted to the worst WNBA mock draft from ESPN.
I still didn't do
And
that.
I was like, it's like they got it all wrong. Because coming into the draft last year, they just started saying random things. Like, they basically just said, this is what Becker's got. And I can't remember what, they said something stupid. It was like, Jacite, they mixed up Jacite and Sipka. They just mixed them up. And they just listed a bunch of things, but they got a lot of things wrong. Oh, sorry, Sanaya Rivers as well. They said Sanaya Rivers was a really good offensive
Like, the way he
player
just,
who
like,
couldn't play
goes
defense.
past me is, like, kind of insane, right?
Like, I'm not joking with that. Like, Aisha Sipka, okay, so they got Sipka right. But, there was a bunch of ones. They basically just listed the stats and they got a load of things wrong. But that's basically what this is. And some of the picks are hilarious. So, first of all, let's take a look here. AZ Foot to Dallas Wings. I think it depends on free agency, to be honest. I think when it's all said and done, it really depends on free agency. I think when it comes down to it, if the Wings, it depends on whether or not the Wings are going for the job, as in they're going to try compete next year, or whether they're going to rebuild for one more year and try maybe get loaded up with Juju. And
I need to start, like,
team.
mismatch
Like,
hunting more, bro, in this
if the
game. I'm
Wings
not gonna
win
lie.
15 games next year, I go 15 and 30. Which,
Oh, my God, Katie.
like, if they go and do that, they are realistically have the best odds of getting Juju Watkins or Madison Booker or somebody big in a 2027 draft.
Oh, my God. Juju and Paige.
And if that happens,
my
it's a
God.
really tough one. I think it's a really tough team to beat. But if they sign big and they're going for it now, AZ Foot makes sense. Look, you just know
Why
AZ
does he
Foot
come
is
in?
you know AZ Foot is going to be a 10-year starter, 3-time All-Star. Like, you know that's going to be there. AZ Foot on a bad season averages 11 points a game, on a good season averages 15 points a game. Like, you just know that's going to be AZ Foot. And for everyone being like, oh no, look, she's averaging 17 points, she'll average that in the W. I'm like, no, she won't. AZ Foot literally is the first time in her career she's averaged over 14 points a game. This is also her first season since her senior year of high school.
Yeah, she's gonna be a great role player.
I still think it's not really a risk taker number one. She's a safer pick, but it makes sense. Our Farm, we will know whether or not Our Farm goes number one on March 17th. USA are playing against Spain. If Our Farm, and I don't think Our Farm needs to dominate. If Our Farm scores 10 points and looks competent against Aaliyah Boston,
Don't try to block, bro. Just play sound,
because
bro.
of the age she is at 19 years old, she will be drafted for. That game, it doesn't matter what AZ Foot does in March Madness. Number one will be decided on March the 17th. But obviously, she's a reliable defense player. I don't know how good she's going to be as a defensive player in the W, but plus UConn pedigree goes a long way. Yeah, so basically UConn tax. ESPN could have said, yeah, you know what, UConn tax. So, averaging 9 rebounds with kind of potential. What better coach to work with Cheryl Reeve? By playing French overseas, she's a learning curve W. It's uncertain when the Collier, when Angus surgery was back. So this is the stage where it's like, okay, yeah, they're actually describing players. here, obviously, she could have gone to WNBA for Olivia Miles. I think Olivia Miles, there's no way chance Olivia Miles goes number 1, but Olivia Miles might go number 2. Genuinely. She might go number 2 just purely because she is the best offensive player in this draft by a lot. By a lot. Like, she is not Caitlin Clark level. The best point guard. She's the best. If you consider Sabrini and S2 to be, if you don't consider Sabrina to be a point guard, she's probably the best offensive point guard that's been drafted since what? Chelsea Gray in 2011? Was she 2014? Like, that's how long back you're going. And she had 40 10-3. But Lauren Betts, in fairness, she's actually playing a lot better. UCLA are killing it right now. I just don't. If she's not dominant in the WNBA, she's a negative. It just needs to see what happens there. Because if she's able to dominate in the WNBA, she's worth top 4 pick. But like, there's no. She's either going to be dominant or she's Jeremy Kemp. And I don't know how. I don't hate her on the Mystics. They need some size. But like, if they keep Shakira Austin, which they very well might, you're then sitting there with her coming off the bench no matter what as a rookie. I don't know. If I was them, I would go and look to. I'd probably take Flaude. Here, or maybe look. If you are dead set on, look, we're not ready yet. We might be ready in a couple of years. Now in Roma, or might be a shout. Flaude Johnson at 5.
Fuck out of here.
Oh, I don't know about that one. 5 points per game last year. LSU aren't spectacular.
How?
Can't drive left whatsoever. It is what it is. Cody McMahon at 6. I'm sorry, what? Like, again, I don't think Cody McMahon's a bad player. I think Ole Miss are okay. I think they're okay. But I'm like, if you're taking a 6-foot-tall forward at 6, you better be confident. I don't know. Nell Angloma. If I'm an expansion franchise, I don't take Nell Angloma. I don't take her. I mean this when I say this. Nell Angloma is literally the highest upside wing in this draft. But look, read this. Read this. After 6. Angloma, who plays for BMLA in France, currently is having a very good season, averaging 16 points, rebounds, assists. She doesn't turn 20 until June and likely can play small forward or shooting guard spots. What do we know about her? You've said 6, and why is she 6? Because she can play 2 positions. Like, you've just basically said these are the positions she plays. This is like, she's not, like, whoever wrote this has no idea. Anything about Nell Angloma. Golden State Valkyries, Diana Martinez. And there's another one. She was 20 last month. She plays for Spain. This is what her averages are. In 2023, she did this. What is there about her? She's a 5'8" point guard. Okay, can she shoot? Can she pass? Is she turnover prone? Can she defend? Nothing. No. Here's her stats. Here's who she plays for. We're going to put her 8. Why? Because I don't know. Diana needs to 9. At least.
What the fuck was that?
Basically, plays for UCLA. She shoots threes. She played for Utah last year, and she's got more talent. Like, can she defend? I don't know. And can she shoot off the move? It's like, this might be some sort of a scout report or reason. There's no logic. She can shoot, I guess. Super senior. She's in fact a super senior. But this is the jump.
What the fuck are you doing?
Why? When Kiki Rice, by the way, Kiki Rice is not making it past.
What the fuck was Barry doing?
Not going in the lottery. Kiki Rice
The hell?
was a player who was projected to go top 2 in this draft a year ago, or 18 months ago. And not only that, Kiki Rice has played really well this year. Kiki Rice has been the best player on UCLA in my opinion. But like, O'Connor, there could not be a worse fit for what the Fever want to do, whether that be Caitlin Ball or Stephanie White Motion. There's not a worse fit for either of those than O'Connor. Like, I like it. I don't think O'Connor's bad, but like, it's a terrible fit. It is a terrible fit. She didn't start playing basketball till her mid-teens. She played it last year. She went to South Carolina. She could get another year of eligibility. She has big potential. These are what her averages are. What does she do? Is she fast? Can she shoot? What does she do?
That's making the most of the possession.
I'll tell you what, for the Fever, she's going to warm that bench. She's going to warm that bench and she goes to the atmosphere. Because you do not need it. Still weird.
I'm here with Coach Ime Udoka. And Coach, what are some of the positives that you can take away from that first half?
Our physicality has been good to start. Obviously, a point of emphasis is keeping them under control.
Jackson is ahead of Kiki Rice and Gabriela Jaquez. Both Kiki Rice and Gabriela Jaquez are still on the board here. And apparently the Mystics, who, by the way, I understand they have Georgia Amor. But like, Kiki Rice is better. Kiki Rice is better too, but like, she can also be like a combo guard.
Sonia Citron.
Ledger Walker. That being said, Ashlon Jackson, look at this absolutely incredible information here. Jackson's been a stalwart for Duke with strong defense. She is a good three-point shooter. She's made 212 threes for Duke, 50 this season. She's also averaging career best assists this senior. Some riveting breakdown. Let's shout out to Kiki Rice and shout out to this journalist for telling us what Kiki Rice's stats are. Kiki Rice going 12 is nuts, and Tanaya Lasson is not falling to 13. Like, she's not falling to 13. Like, I'm not joking when I say this. Like, Tanaya Lasson, no, she's just not falling to 13. Like, she could absolutely fall out of the lottery. She is not falling to 13. There is no way in hell the Connecticut Sun. By the way, there's no way Kiki Rice falls there. There is no way in hell the Washington Mystics pass up on her. There's just no way. Marta Suarez at 14 for Seattle Storm, cool. I mean, cool, super senior, favorite. Gabriela Jaquez, you know, I understand. But like, this is the funniest thing here, is that there could actually be some sort of analysis why you have Jaquez at 15. Being like Jaquez was projected higher, was seen as a close to lottery player at the start of the season when she was shooting nearly 50% from three, and since going into Big Ten play, her 3-point shot has come back down to earth, shooting sub 30% in Big Ten play, and while her stats look good on the season, it'll be interesting to see how she gets on in the tournament. You could write something like that. That's just off the top of my head. So I don't even hate Jaquez at 15. Because Jaquez, has gone back to her not very good shooting in Big Ten play, but you just listed her stats. You just listed her stats. Like, you just list. This is like, outside of Latson, how many players' descriptions are just listing their stats? 1, 2. At least they said Latson is suffering an injury. But 3. But 3 or 4 for Rice. 4 or 5 for Jackson. I don't know if I want players that we know. I don't know anything about him. I don't know anything other, like, literally 80 foot. I know about 80 foot and Olivia Miles and Alabama. It's about it. And all I know is Alabama's potential. I don't know what she does. But I don't know anything. This mock draft's terrible. This is every time ESPN does mock draft, it's chat GPT. So the Indiana Fever are a interesting team now because, again, with the league going ahead, we can talk about the expansion draft. I don't know why I'm suddenly into AI right now. I'm suddenly going into AI from the Indiana Fever. But yeah, if you guys are interested and are looking to actually come back for basketball videos, subscribe. We're trying to gain the 1 subscriber that we lost. We're trying to gain the 1 subscriber that we lost. If we do that, that would be incredible. We get back to 57 by 50 that we were at on the stage. So we have got here a Indiana Fever team, and we're going to be talking about the players that Indiana Fever are going to keep, let go, or sorry, protect or not protect in the expansion draft. So players currently under some form of team control. Chloe Bibby is a reserved free agent, which means that whoever has her reserved free agent rights have exclusive control to negotiate. So, as of right now, it is the Indiana Fever who have the exclusive spot to negotiate with Chloe Bibby. Not here is Christy Wallace, with the Indiana Fever also, as far as I'm aware, have the reserved free agency rights. They have exclusive ability to negotiate. So if you lose that player in the expansion draft, unless something changed that we don't know about in the CBA, they have the exclusive rights to negotiate. Sid Colson's unrestricted free agent, Ariel Powers unrestricted free agent, Kate Clark on a rookie deal, KK Timpson is on a rookie deal, Maria Santos is an unrestricted free agent, Bree Turner unrestricted free agent, Lexi Hall restricted free agent. What a restricted free agent means is a little bit different than reserve, because Lexi Hall is allowed to sign for a different team, but whatever the offer is that she accepts from another team, the Indiana Fever are allowed to match that. So Tony is an unrestricted free agent, which means that the only way you can guarantee yourself to keep her, she can play wherever she wants, is if you core her, give her the core designation with that franchise tag. Aaliyah Boston is max contract eligible as a but still in a rookie deal. And now Jared's an unrestricted free agent. Shay Petty's unrestricted. Bree Hall is a reserved free agent, I think. If she's at all. No. I don't know. Ari McDonald's unrestricted free agent. Odyssey Sims unrestricted free agent. Kelsey Mitchell unrestricted free agent. So, let's go through Kelsey Mitchell. The core designation is a really interesting one, because if that exists, if the core designation exists, no team will take an unrestricted free agent. If the core designation does not exist, then Toronto are not going to draft an unrestricted free agent. They're just going to wait it out and get them a free agency, and just not sign players that they take in the expansion draft, which they're well within their rights to do. Or they will do that if it comes down to it. If the core designation is there, Kelsey Mitchell is guaranteed to be kept, whether or protected, no matter whether she wants to be on the Fever or not. If the core designation is there, she's going to be protected and court. They're going to give her the core designation anyway. And I don't know if she doesn't want to be there to trade, she wants to be there to get the season. I would say there's 85 to 90% chance that Kelsey Mitchell is a member of the Indiana Fever.
Like, why can't I just do a layup right there, you know?
With Kelsey Mitchell is that long-term max. They can't afford to give her Aaliyah and Kelsey and Caitlin long-term maxes, but still, for the time being, protected. Odyssey Sims, unrestricted free agent, I thought was very, very good at times. Fever really good in that Aces series, especially down the stretch. I thought she was really good against, and she hit a game winner into Sparks that basically guaranteed the Fever into the playoffs, which, again, hindsight being 2020, I get it. Thank God they had a good playoff run, because if they had just gotten swept by a dream what they thought they were going to do, it would have been a shit show. And we really just get beaten twice in the playoffs. We really just gave up the chance at our fan. We really gave up a chance at our fan, AZ Ford, or being able to trade that fourth pick for something big.
AZ Ford would be good alongside Caitlin, I'm not gonna lie.
But good playoff run, so it's all good. But not protected. Ari McDonald, 9.8 points per game, 4.7 assists per game, super injury prone, has not had one healthy season as a pro, and is currently injured. 0% chance to protect Ari McDonald. And I hope they don't bring Ari McDonald back just purely for health reasons. Bree Hall won't be protected anyway, regardless of whatever rights are. Shea Petty.
Natasha Howard, nah. I think they'll protect
in
Caitlin,
circumstances,
Kelsey,
older player, not that much
Caitlin,
experience,
Kelsey.
but came in at a key point of the season and actually did pretty
I
well.
think Michaela Thompson,
But
Sophie,
Natasha Howard is
and Aaliyah Boston.
was a max contract player who played mediocre. Commissioner's Cup MVP, was an S tier person.
Because Thompson is perfect for Caitlin
on the court,
coming off the bench.
For the Commissioner's Cup game alone. But on the court, I can't just fully justify giving Natasha Howard anything more than 6 out of 10 per season, and they're not going to keep her. Aaliyah Boston, whether or not she's max eligible or not, a long-term pillar of the Indiana Fever, she will be protected. She will be protected. Sophie Cunningham very clearly wants to be back in Indiana. I think the Fever would be...
You gotta keep Sophie, bro.
Want Sophie Cunningham back. I think there were large chunks of the season where she was their
Lexi.
Like,
wait.
Through Caitlin's injury,
Wait.
Sophie was...
Caitlin, Kelsey, Aaliyah, Sophie, and Lexi. Damn, will they protect Sophie? Will they pick Sophie or Lexi Hall? Because I know they're going to keep Michaela Thompson, bro. I know it. She's too perfect for Caitlin. I might have to go Lexi. Lexi is younger. She's better perimeter defender, but Sophie is so fucking good, bro.
She were injured in that period of time.
That's gonna be tough.
She was struggling up to the British Cup final.
Imagine they just let
the third best player.
Let her go.
She was the third best player. She was playing point guard minutes. She was playing power forward minutes. She played everywhere. She guarded everyone. And she's not the elite defender, but she's like a 6.5 out of 10 defender guarding every position. She's tough. She hits threes at a higher rate than anyone other than Leon Beavish last year. If you're Indiana, you want her back. But she's also not a max contract player. So none of the expansion franchises are going to take her as number 2 free agent and give her the core designation. So she's not going to get taken in the expansion draft. They have no rights to her. Nobody has any rights to Sophie Cunningham. She's not going to be taken in the expansion draft unless, I don't know, Portland says, because Toronto, let's be real.
Fuck.
If Toronto are going to take a role player and give them a core designated max to make them the face of the franchise, it's going to be Bridget Carlton. Portland are just like, we need to sell a few tickets. But like, we need to sell a few jerseys. I don't know, but it doesn't really matter that much. I don't think Sophie's going to be taking the expansion draft. I think she ends up back in Indiana, but they're not going to protect her. Lexi Hall, restricted free agent. I don't know what she's going to command on the open market, and without knowing what she's going to command on the open market, it's a really tough one to say with this. I think because they have control her team rights, they're going to keep her, they're going to protect her. But the thing with Lexi Hall is that even if you fully control her rights, if somebody's going to go and offer her 800k on the open market, people can't afford to pay her 800k. Like, let's just say hypothetically, if Chicago are like, fuck this, we're going all out culture. We are bringing a team together that is a team for culture. We're bringing together a bunch of hustle players. We're getting just the right bodies around Angel Reese. And by the way, Camila Cardoso did not look good for Brazil. But we're just going to surround Angel Reese with a bunch of hustle players. Fuck all this, we need talent and spacing. We're going to
stupid glitch.
We're going to start with Teresa Weatherspoon. We're going to be this grit and grind team. We're going to be a tough defensive team. We're going to try. Like, we're not going to bring Mabry back, but fuck it, maybe we bring a few dogs in. Maybe we go say, Kennedy, you want to come back? Kennedy, you want to come back? Sloot, you want to come in as assistant coach? We don't want you anymore. But like, I don't think they're going to do it. But maybe they go down that route. And Lexi's a perfect player for that scenario. And they might overpay. So you keep her and you wait to see what happens in free agency. I think the chances of Lexi and Sophie being on the Indiana Fever are probably about 75% each. But it's only probably 50-50 if they both end up there. Bree Turner, shout out Bree in the playoffs, shout out playoff Bree, and the regular season Bree. But no, they're not going to protect Bree. Even her stats was she was terrible last week. Considering the fact that she was really good but was not in shape in 2024. It was clear she wasn't in shape, but she played really well. It was just she was slow, and obviously in 2024 she there was a bit of struggle there. That being said, or a bit of struggle there conditioning wise, and then comes into 2025 in shape and then just sticks it up. It was mad.
You a bitch.
KK Gibson is a.
I'll put that on everything except my mama, boy. You a
Guaranteed
bitch.
would be taken in the expansion draft if she's left unprotected. So she's the only player so far that we can guarantee, other than like Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah, we can guarantee will be taken. That being said, there is raw potential there, but there's no realized potential. As in, like, there are younger players that played over her at her position when she was in Europe. She looked lost a lot of the time. She's out on the floor. There's a lot of things with KK to like, with her athleticism, with her hands, with her feel, and with her touch. But like her IQ is like negative on both ends of the floor. Like it is the lowest I've ever seen. And she's 20.
You fucking glitch, fuck
she's
you.
24 years old this year. Like it's tough. It's really tough to give her a pass when like in the second round, Janiyah Parker might be available, who has a higher upside and has all the same flaws, but is basically KK Gibson with the shoot. That being said, like she didn't have an assist last season. She didn't have an assist last season. She played something like, was it like 2
I gotta hit those, bro.
Madness. Like she literally, every time she touches the ball, she shoots. It's the lowest IQ I've ever seen. But the skill is there. If you can work on her and get that IQ up, you potentially have a start. So, keep her. We're going to keep it somewhere. Caitlin Clark is gone. Ariel Powers coming in when she did, put in good effort, hustle player. I wouldn't be surprised to see Bachman Fever on a minimum. I actually wouldn't be. If I think Ariel Powers, and I hate to say this, but I'm like if you lose one of Sophie Cunningham or Lexi Hall, how much of a drop off is Ariel Powers? A drop off? Not that much of a drop off. Sid Coulson is going to be back one way or another. No one's going to take him back. That is not going to be protected. Sid Coulson will be back, whether it's as a player or as an assistant coach. You need to see how her knee is. Potentially back as an assistant coach for the year, but Sid will be back in one way or another. And Chloe Bibby is going to be not protected. Steph White doesn't rate her as a player. Chloe Bibby is near certainty to be taken in the expansion draft. My guesses are it's going to be Christy Wallace and Chloe Bibby, or I think it's going to be two. Maybe Bree Hall gets taken, or it's a Chloe Bibby and that's it. Chloe Bibby is for me the guarantee to be taken in the expansion draft. Stephanie White doesn't want her. Both sides win in this scenario. And that's the video. So the official numbers have been released when it comes down to the salaries of Caitlin Frank, Paige Beckers, Angel Reese, Aaliyah Boston, who are probably the players that will command a max out of 2023. Yeah, no one else in 2023. Seegers will be commanding a max. 2024, Caitlin Angel, that's realistically it. Layla Khan might be in that, but she'd be considered 2025. Layla Khan might be interesting. I think she might end up commanding a max, but that's yet to be seen. And then obviously Paige Becker is absolutely in 2025. So what has now happened is, because of the quote-unquote epic rule, I'm going to call it the Caitlin rule.
What?
Because, let's be real, she was the first person to have reached this. Whether it be Caitlin, Aaliyah, and Paige are all eligible. We're going to call it the Caitlin rule. Just like the Rose rule in the NBA, we're going to call it the Caitlin rule. So, ironically, if Caitlin...
Why these bitches trying to fuck with me? I can't fuck with them. Why these bitches trying to fuck with me? I don't fuck with them. Why they keep trying to fuck with me? I don't fuck with them. Everybody there, I ain't here. Bitch, fuck with them. I don't give a fuck. What's he saying? I don't fuck with him. She don't give a fuck what he saying. She don't come with him. I don't give no fuck what you saying. I don't come with him. You in the East, I was the Cumberland. Bitch, I don't give a fuck. I'm J. Cole with the Cumberland. I don't give a fuck. Bitch, I give a fuck. I give a fuck about them. You don't give a damn. I give a fuck, and you give a fuck too. You don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck either. I don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck. Everybody give a fuck. You don't give a fuck. You don't say what the fuck you did when you give a fuck. I say what the fuck you got for. I say what the fuck too. Trump's right about you. Everybody here is right about you. Everybody here is right about everybody. Everybody here think you up, but you ain't up. Everybody here think you down, but you ain't down. You support some that don't got nothing but dark pounds. Everybody here think you walk, but you don't walk away. Everybody there think I'm here, but I ain't even there. Everybody here think I'm there, but I ain't even there. The Lakers be the Lakers, but the Lakers can't be the Knicks. The Knicks want to be the Knicks, but the Knicks can't be the Lakers. Everybody here want to be here. Then she want to be there. Everybody there want to be him, but she can't be him. Everybody want to be him, but she can't be him. But she him. Bitch, suck my meat. You don't want to do it. I get somebody else to do it.
So today I'm going to talk about this. I meant to talk about it yesterday. Unfortunately, I got quite sick back in Ireland right now.
Bro, what's up, bro?
Staying the last while. And yeah, we're going to be talking about this here. We're going to be talking about the whole thing with Caitlin Clark in the Carver Hawkeye Arena. So you see it here, the Arizona State women's team loves Carver Hawkeye Arena. Caitlin Clark remade it. If it's a shooter, I'm not gonna lie, Caitlin Clark, you got it. It's the house Caitlin Clark built. And like, you're looking at this right here. They're all just basically just fangirling over Caitlin Clark. Talking about this, talking about the Hawkeye Arena. And then even seeing like fairly differences. You're seeing literally their whole college, their actual college posted their team trying to shoot from the Caitlin Clark logo. Like, it is actually a thing. And it is, in my opinion, that's one of the coolest things that Iowa did. I think that is one of the coolest things that Iowa have done. One of the smartest things they've done is that they put the 22 logo where she shot the, where she broke the college record. And I'm happy that Caitlin Clark didn't do it on like a free throw. I'm happy that she didn't do it on a free throw, on a layup. She did it on a logo three. Because now it is like a thing. It is like a thing now that teams go and they want to just shoot at from the Caitlin logo. And if you guys agree that this is cool, subscribe. We are trying to hit 57,730 subscribers by the end of the day. We need 2 more to do that. That would be insane. That being said, I think this is cool. This is really, really cool. Put in perspective how her shot was back in 2. Make the same shot with a defender, your face national TV, so there. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. No one in men's or women's basketball doing that. Saying it became a hallowed ground thing to do in the NCAA. Look at the smiles, don't tell me Caitlin James James, tell me she's not one like I literally read someone and they're like, Caitlin's the most impactful. You can't put Caitlin as a top player in women's college basketball because, you know, she never won. It's like, I'm gonna be real here. And they were like, oh, Caitlin's actually not top 10. If Caitlin Clark goes to Notre Dame, and let's just say hypothetically, she goes to Notre Dame and rattles off 5 straight, or 4 straight, or she goes to UConn, and Gino or Emma realize, oh, you know what, I kind of fucked up, let's bring in UConn, and they rattle off 4 straight. Because they probably do, like, they probably win with, like, Ono and, like, with that team with Caitlin Page. They probably win in 2021, 2022, 2020. Even with the Page injury, I'm sorry. I mean this, my baby. Like, Caitlin Clark.
Oh, bro, I can't hit a shot with Reed, bro. 0 for 6.
They had no chance against South Carolina in 2023. They beat the team that they should have had no chance against in 2023. And then lost to the team they should have beat. But in 2023, if you give Caitlin Clark, I'm not joking, if you give her Nika Mule, Lou Lopez Seneschal, who was the 5th pick in the draft that year, Dorothy Uhas, Aaliyah Edwards, I think it was Casey Arnold. No, I don't think she was there that year. But if you give her Lou Lopez Seneschal, AV Sports played that year, I think AV might have been healthy for a bit that year. If you give her AV, Lou, Dorka, and Aaliyah Edwards and Nika Mule, Caitlin's winning the title that year. Caitlin's winning the title. And in 2024, you put Caitlin and a healthy Paige back on the floor, they win the title. Like, if Caitlin rattles off 4 straight seasons, and let's just say Caitlin wins 2 MOPs and Paige wins 2 MOPs, she wouldn't have been a better college basketball player once she did Iowa. She took a team that nobody thought had any chance of making Final Four and back-to-back national championship games. And while doing that, she was the all-time leader in points scored, NCAA points scored. Sometimes it means more to. Sometimes the journey is more important than the destination. And like, let's be real, Caitlin Clark could have played 4 years. Like, Caitlin Clark could have left and transferred to UConn. Because you better believe Gino Oriemo would have said, yeah. If winning a title and playing with the best players in the world matters so much, Caitlin Clark would have just transferred to UConn, did her 5th year of eligibility, and walked to a national championship. Like, what are we saying here? But that's one of those things that's like, love it. All these things is what they're doing here. Several of these players would have competed against Clark 2 years ago. Fairleigh Dickinson was Iowa season opener during Caitlin Clark's senior season, which is, again, it's cool. It is cool. Like, you're playing against one of the greatest, probably the greatest player to ever play. I'm not even going to say, because it is a tough one, because I think the Stewie versus Caitlin Clark argument are 2 very different things. Where, like, the most dominant player to ever play in college basketball as an individual is Caitlin Clark. The greatest winner in college basketball is Breanna Stewart. And I think, like, you're looking at Stewie's accomplishment accolades versus Caitlin Clark. So you've got the stats and the 2 crazy NCAA runs in Caitlin Clark, and you've got a UConn team that might have won a national championship for that. Yeah, I'll go as far as to say they might have won a national championship with Esther. Like, and the reason why I can say that somewhat confidently is they went undefeated the next 2 seasons until they lost to Notre Dame, and I can't remember who beat them in 2018. But like, they went undefeated. They had back-to-back undefeated regular seasons after Stu left. So yes, I'm confident they win. They could have won, especially in 2016, the title without Stu. And without Caitlin, I don't think I will make the tournament. I'll give them making the tournament. They don't make it out of second round. But they might not have made it. You know what? I'll stand by that. I don't think they make the tournament. They were this close to missing the tournament last year, and they had Lucy Olsen, and they got Eva Hayden in it. Yeah, it is cool, but it is very, very cool to see what these other colleges and what these other players, and it's cool to see none of this fucking nonsense, the South Carolina UConn bullshit of like, oh yeah, we can't say a positive word about her. When you're looking at, even on the men's side, you're seeing players trying to shoot from Caitlin's logo, and by the way, it is so far away. It is so far. Even like Sophie Cunningham was like struggling to hit the rim from that far. The player that stands there like, yeah, there's no way we can make this shot. There's no way we can make this. And it is cool to see. It is really cool to see a fairly different team shooting from the Caitlin logo and going and posting.
Mother of a bitch.
For Iowa. And you're saying, oh, but like, it isn't. Oh, they're scared of their opposition. They're giving up too much. Fair Dickinson fucking beat Iowa. They were a 15 seed. They nearly beat Iowa. They were close to pulling off the first ever 15 versus 2 upset in the women's college basketball. I think there's been a 16-1 upset. I don't think there's ever been a 15-2 upset. But yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. That is the video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you guys think this is cool? Do you guys think this is not? I don't know. And thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
I can't stand the motherfucker that can't stand the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm going to be 100% honest here. The Fever can't afford to run it back. They can't. They simply put do not have the funds to. Why does every time I go into roster do it send up an AI question? So they don't have the funds to put their team together again. So I'm going to guess what these players are going to cost. I'm going to tell you what it will cost for Fever to run it back. Before we go on, if you guys aren't new to the channel, subscribe. We're trying to hit 57,750 subscribers again. Thank you. You're 46 off. So, Kelsey Mitchell is not. I highly doubt Kelsey Mitchell is going to.
The spreadsheets hit the desk and the room went cold. The Indiana Fever owners just looked at the projected 2026 payroll and realized they were staring at a financial suicide note. There is no plan B. There is no hidden budget. The dream of keeping Caitlin Clark's supporting cast together just went up in flames because the math simply refuses to work. It's not just a roster change. It's a total rejection of the team's current identity. The front office is in a state of absolute panic as the realization sinks in that they might have to dismantle a winning core before it even reaches its peak performance. This isn't just a minor setback. It's a full-scale organizational crisis that could change everything we thought we knew about this team's future.
It's at 57,750 subscribers again. Thank you. You're 46 off. So, Kelsey Mitchell is not. I highly doubt Kelsey Mitchell is going to play for 1 snap this season. And I have a feeling she is going to be used, the core designation is going to be used on Kelsey Mitchell to guarantee she stays, and it will be a supermax for Kelsey Mitchell because there's one more year on before they leave. So, with that, we are looking at $1.4 million for Kelsey Mitchell's contract. Odyssey Sims is not going to be coming back. Shout out Odyssey Sims, 27 points and getting higher to the top of the 7.
You're a Tigger. Everything you do is Tiggerish. You're a fucking Tigger. Fuck you, Tigger.
For Kelsey Mitchell because there's one more year up before they leave. So, with that,
you know what Tigger is?
$1.4 million for Kelsey Mitchell's contract.
Amen.
Odyssey Sims is not going to be coming back. Shout out Odyssey Sims, 27 points and getting higher to the top of the semifinals.
Let's be 100% honest here because the situation is dire. The Indiana Fever absolutely cannot afford to run this roster back in 2026. People keep talking about chemistry and building a dynasty, but they are ignoring the cold, hard numbers that govern the league. You cannot pay players with hopes and dreams, and right now the Fever are looking at a bank account that is bone dry. The ownership group has reached a breaking point where they have to decide between keeping their stars or keeping a functional bench. It's a zero-sum game where every dollar spent on a veteran is a dollar taken away from the help Caitlin Clark desperately needs. The internal memos are leaking, and the word coming out of the building is one of pure, unadulterated chaos.
For skill set boxes, Caitlin Clark will be a boss for Kelsey Mitchell. If you get rid of this, Caitlin Clark is going to be traded. You know she's not going to be, but obviously in this weird hypothetical, someone trying to sabotage your team, and they pull in Nico Harrison, and Odyssey Sims would be great to have back. Odyssey Sims in the open market, based on how she did last year, she's probably going to command. My guess is if I'm going to get the median contract in the league, it's going to be about 450k. I would say she's going to command about 500-ish, a little bit over the median. As will Ari McDonald. The problem with Ari McDonald is she has not been injured, or she has not been healthy at all in her career.
I'm going to say they're not going to keep Matthew Sims, but I'm also the first major domino to fall is Kelsey Mitchell, and her price tag is going to send shockwaves through the front office. There is zero chance she plays for a single cent less than the Supermax. We are talking about a $1.4 million commitment just to keep her in a Fever jersey. To ensure she doesn't walk away for nothing, the team will almost certainly have to use the core designation on her. This move effectively traps her, but it also traps the team's salary cap in a vice grip. You're looking at a massive chunk of the budget disappearing before you even fill the second spot on the roster. It is a high-stakes gamble that many within the ownership circle are starting to push
damn, they
back
trying to heat
against,
up.
fearing it will leave the team top-heavy and vulnerable.
Give money to injured players. It's very,
A little bit too late for that little twin.
Shea Petty wants money back. Natasha Howard. So, Natasha Howard is going to want a max contract. She's not going to deserve a max contract. Some dumb team is going to give her a max contract. My expectation is that somewhere Natasha Howard is going to make $9 million. And I don't think we want the Indiana Fever to run it back with Natasha Howard, but I have a feeling they're going to run it back. They're going to try to run it back with Howard. I have a really bad feeling they're going to try to run it back with Howard. Then you've got Aaliyah Boston. Aaliyah Boston's contract.
Gang, you ain't dirt. Gang, you ain't dirt.
But the chaos doesn't stop with the superstar contracts. It's the mid-level talent that's causing the real headache. Take a look at Odyssey Sims. Despite her incredible performance and those 27-point outbursts, she is almost certainly gone. Why? Because her skill set clashes far too much with what Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston are trying to build. In the open market, based on her recent production, she's going to command well over the median contract price. We're talking about $500,000 for a player who might actually hinder the development of your franchise cornerstone. The owners are looking at that price tag and saying absolutely not. They can't justify spending that kind of money on a player who doesn't fit the long-term vision.
Caitlin Clark right now is going to be at $500K. So you're looking at then. So we've got one player here in Caitlin, 2 in Lexi, 3 in Sophie, 4 in Leah, 5 in Howard, 6 in Ari, 7 in Kelsey Mitchell. You now no longer have, there is now, for a $7 million salary cap, this is just, again, based on my expectations, you now have to fill out the entire team with vet minimum players or lower, and you can't afford your first round pick. To run it back,
then you have the heartbreaking reality of the bench rotation and players like Ari McDonald. The problem here isn't talent, it's availability. Throughout her career, she has struggled to stay healthy, and the Fever simply cannot afford to gamble on a maybe anymore. Even though she's been a solid player when she's actually on the floor, the owners are hesitant to hand out a $500,000 contract to someone who might spend half the season in physical therapy. It's a brutal business, but the WNBA has this weird habit of giving big money to injured players, and the Fever owners are finally putting their foot down. They are tired of paying for production that never actually makes it onto the hardwood during the playoffs.
To run it back means the Fever literally, and that is by the way, undershooting what these players are going to go for. They're going to go for more money than this. I'm undershooting this. The remaining 5 players of Indiana Fever have to be that minimum.